Okay. Not a town lead, but this is still not fun. Okay. Well, we do need to see this sooner or later.
A few moments later.
Alright. We dip here. Oh my gosh, that does like very little actually. Oh my gosh. What in the world? Triple weak to charm? Really? You gotta be kidding me. That's wild. That's actually nuts. Like, they really don't care about charm. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I will be showcasing LURANTIS. One of my patrons asked if I could create a team with LURANTIS, and I caught a pretty good one, so I decided why not give it a shot and see how well it does in Open Great League. And honestly, this team is a ton of fun. Ever since Trevenant was introduced into Pokemon Go, I think that's been pretty much the king of grass types, but LURANTIS does have some interesting matchups that Trevenant is not as good in, so I decided to build a team with LURANTIS and Walrein and Galarian Stunfisk in the back. The biggest weakness of this team is really Toxicroak. It's pretty much the only fighter that LURANTIS is pretty bad against, but outside that, if you're a fan of throwing a lot of charge moves and swapping around with a lot of energy, then this team is probably for you. Before we get into the rest of the footage, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access on my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the link down below. The benefit of Trevenant compared to a lot of grass types, it has a lot of coverage against Flyer, so things like Altaria actually has play with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, but unfortunately LURANTIS, just like many other grass types, do not have those moves for it, so you do have to swap right out here. And typically I swap Walrein, safe swap, but against Altaria, because that Walrein is double super effective against it, you're going to do quite well, so I'm just going to get rid of the G-Fisk at the moment. I am going to just farm this all the way down. Rainy Cast Form has only resistant moves against LURANTIS, and I'm going to just throw the superpower and then just dip out to my Walrein, just doing a little chip damage here or there. I don't really know if it was completely necessary given how little damage it did, but I figured why not just throw a little bit. And here we go straight for the Earthquake, 2 shields up with Walrein. At this point I realized my win condition here is to stall out the switch timer and try to snipe down this Registeel or force it to shield. It is in a much more manageable position after landing that first Earthquake, and I threw a very obvious Icicle Sphere just so I could get to this Leaf Blade here. And now we are going to throw another superpower. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of lag, but it's not a big deal. What's up, girl? And that Altaria is going to finish me off. And now I am going to farm this Altaria all the way down. We do have the Earthquake banked, and we're going to throw it and seal the deal. So come back from really bad lead and counter swap in back-end matchups, but that no shield Earthquake really helped me there. You know, a big mistake today I made is wearing a black shirt while holding a very fluffy white cat. So we'll see how bad that is. All right, so I go for a bait here against a Lantern, and the opponent does not shield. I have another Earthquake banked. Let's see if they shield again, and this person is just completely crazy. They are not shielding any potential Earthquakes. So I have to let that go, unfortunately, at that point. And I'm going to just farm a lot of energy, and they actually come in Skarmory here. So my guess is they have another check. Oh my gosh. Remember, you're not a fan, I guess. All right. My cat is off in a second. But yeah, we do have a decent matchup here, but my guess is they have another check to my LURANTIS in the back. So this is going to be a tough matchup for sure. And now I'm just going to farm this all the way down. I have play against a Lantern, and then they come in Lantern. I'm going to snipe it down with Leaf Blade. Let's see if they shield, and they don't shield, so all that energy kind of goes to waste, which is kind of nice. And let's see what they come back in with, and it's going to be a Skarmory, so I'm going to have to farm this all the way down. Very uncomfortable, but we still don't know what they have in the back, and it's actually a Shadow Machamp. This is going to be interesting. So I do have 2 Leaf Blades stored. Maybe we'll get both shields, and I do. And then now I go straight for the Earthquake. And we get to it before the Shadow Machamp gets to move, or maybe they try and counter me down. But yeah, able to narrowly win that matchup. Pretty wild that player did not shield a single potential Earthquake out of the 2. All right, Azumarill. You know, one of the staple bulky water types of Great League. They do shield there. Azumarill just kind of tough. This one is running Play Rough, so probably Hydro Pump. So that's actually really good info to get. Here is where Lurantis excels in compared to Trevenant, is you are doing neutral damage to the Sableye and only taking neutral from it. So it's a little bit better for matchup, whereas Trevenant is going to struggle a little bit more against Sableye. All right, but now we do have the Azu back in here. I'm going to build up to the Earthquake. I should live this Play Rough barely. Yeah, barely. And I do get off this Earthquake here, which will do a good amount of chip damage. So I kind of need that chip damage for this Leaf Blade to KO. And they come in with Talonflame. Talonflame is actually pretty tough for this team. It has the potential to beat all 3 Pokemon. Maybe not by itself, but it has play against all 3, especially with shields up. But with on 1 shields here, I should be able to get to this Rock Slide here, and I do. And we take out the Talonflame, and now we can go straight for the Earthquake. Zuma's probably going to go for a Hydro Pump at this point, and yeah, they do. But we saw the moveset earlier. They do not have the Ice Beam, and they dumped a bunch of the energy just right then and there. And we take out with Lurantis. All right, Walrein. Not great. Just like Trev, not great against it as well, so you don't really lose too much there. Although you do have Leaf Blade and Superpower, both super effective against Walrein, so with some energy, it could be good. And a great catch by opponent here, catching an Earthquake. So there's that. Cat Cheggy's right here for some reason, but maybe she wants to make an appearance on camera. Let us see. Girl, I don't know. You came to me, all right? I don't know why you're complaining. All right. And we still managed to take out the Talonflame despite them dropping 2 shields there and catching an Earthquake. So that's absolutely huge for me. Now I have the alignment I want. And I'm just going to double shield this Walrein here. I'm just going to build up a bunch of energy. I know they don't have anything left. And honestly, with Switch Advantage and Galarian Stunfisk and Lurantis both healthy, not much can beat this combo. So let's see what they have in the back. And it's going to be a Trevenant. Which is kind of funny because Trevenant is one of the few things that has the ability to beat both a Galarian Stunfisk and a Lurantis. But by itself, it might be kind of a tall order. Let's see how bulky this Lurantis is. It still tanks a Shadow Ball, and the Fury Cutter is going to finish it off. So, yeah. Walrein putting in a lot of work to really set up the rest of the team. All right, this opponent goes straight into Safe Swap Charm Pokemon. This might be Zionic's team with Empoleon, Charm Ninetales, and Mandibuzz. Typically, Mandibuzz is a safe swap though, so let's see kind of how they play it out. But you can farm up quite a bit of energy here, so I'm going to maximize my energy just so that I can potentially get to an Earthquake against the Empoleon. And my opponent shields. Very odd shield there, but that's fine. I'm going to throw a Rock Slide here just to get some chip damage. It's obviously not an Earthquake, but I don't get to the Earthquake. I do have to shield these Drill Pegs. Lurantis is not the bulkiest type. That's okay. And then here comes the Talonflame. So Talonflame, yeah, really strong. If this is Brave Bird, that's okay, but it ends up being a Flame Charge. I'm usually not going to shield the first one because I should barely live a Brave Bird and get off 2 Icicle Spears. And most players do not go for it right off the bat with the shield up. All right, and then now they're going to go for the second Flame Charge. I do have to shield this one. And I'm going to shield and throw the Icicle Spear. I see my switch timer almost up, so I should be able to swap right away so they don't farm me here. And then now go straight for the Superpower for that super effective, hard-hitting damage against Empoleon. Scrafty. Scrafty, definitely a little bit tougher against Trevenant unless you shield all the foul plays correctly. But against Lurantis, Lurantis is pretty solid. You have neutral Leaf Blades and super effective Superpowers. I'm going to go for the bait first and go for the Superpower. And now I'm going to just swap over. Typically speaking, I probably stay in, but I know I could survive whatever move they throw at me with Walrein. And now I have the Drapion here. Drapion's actually pretty good against Lurantis, so I'm kind of surprised they brought into the Walrein, but my guess maybe they're even weaker to Walrein in the back. I go straight for the Earthquake. They no shield. Even if they did shield, seeing there's backline Pokemon, my Galarian Stunfisk is going to finish it off, and they concede right there. Another one where Lurantis is actually pretty solid against compared to Trevenant. Lurantis having that super effective Fury Cutter, although non-stab, does have the non-stab superpowers as well, which really do add up. And you could just kind of throw and like swap out, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Chip it down quite a bit because Umbreon's not really a threat for this backline team. So I'm going to just farm up a lot of extra energy. These foul plays are not a huge concern. And then now we are finally going to throw this energy because we're pretty much maxed out. And let's see what they have in the back. They have a Skarmory in the back. This bodes well. So a Skarmory in the back, probably something else weak to Walrein, which is good because typically speaking, Galarian Stunfisk would probably be good against it as well. And I'm getting a ton of moves off here and grabbing a shield. I do have the Galarian Stunfisk, and actually it's an Venusaur. So I am going to catch a Frenzy Plant, which was probably crucial, but let's see how this plays out. That yeah, catching it, and they do get a little extra energy, but avoiding a Frenzy Plant is pretty huge. I'm gonna go straight for the Earthquake. I don't really want to mess around here, and they do shield, but I have 2 shields remaining, so this is absolutely huge for me. They do get to another one, but yeah, I'm going to just be careful, potential catch, and here comes the Skarmory. So they do come in with the Skarmory to potentially catch an Earthquake. I'm going to farm up to maximum energy here, throw the Rock Slide. Way too much health for me to mud shot down even after debuffed, but still getting to Earthquake. So that catch on Lurantis was absolutely huge, and yeah, able to finish him off. All right, Bastiodon. You know, this team is pretty solid against Bastiodon. You have some decent play with superpowers here, and you still have the Galarian Stunfisk in the back with the Walrein. We do CMP there, so I'm going to shield the first Flamethrower and go straight over, but they swap straight to a Shadow Victreebel. I go straight for the Earthquake here. This might be a misplay. Let's see, and they do shield. Unfortunate, and I let this move go. No, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but let's see. I'm going to farm down Walrein, Super Effective Power Snows, but these Shadow Razor Leaves are really adding up, so not a good time. And they come in with a Bastion. I'm going to farm as much as possible and swap to Lurantis, hoping that I have a Earthquake banked. And then now they come in with the Shadow Razor Leaf Grotto. So good old Bastiodon double Razor Leaf, as some people like to call in the community, Grass Hole. But we do put this quite low. Hopefully I have that Earthquake, and unfortunately I was 1 Powder Snow away, and so they do finish me off. So probably should have shielded something there, but it does happen. As much as I love Bastiodon, honestly a lot of my teams are actually quite weak to Bastiodon. I think a lot of people are, just because they don't account for it when they're building teams, but it is what it is. Diggersby here, whole team is fairly solid against it. Diggersby is very strong against that Galarian Stunfisk though, but it is weakened at this point, so it should be quite manageable. And they come in with a Cresselia, and you'll see that this Cresselia takes a lot of damage in the process of taking out this Walrein, which is quite solid for me. I'm going to farm up a lot of energy here because Lurantis does pretty good against the Diggersby. I do get my attack drop, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to farm up to pretty much max energy and then throw my Leap Blade to take it out. And here comes a Frostlass. Let's see if they shield or not. They don't shield, but I just want to burn the timer a little bit. And let's see what happens here. They do throw an Earthquake. I'm going to go straight for an Earthquake myself because Rock Slide is not enough to take it out, and they do shield. I'm going to go for another Earthquake. This opponent is going to throw one as well. I'm going to go with Rock Slide at this point because it should be in KO range. And now I throw a Rock Slide at this Frostlass, and we swap right back over for the Leap Blade, a little chip and dip. And they're probably going to finish me off with an Avalanche. This is going to be a close one. It's going to be fast moves, neutral on both sides, and it looks like Galarian Stunfisk does come out on top. So super close match there. Really good game. All right, Cresselia. Obviously, Trevenant is much better here because the Shadow Balls do a lot, and so do Shadow Claws. But you still have a lot of play. You got super effective Fury Cutters with neutral Leaf Blades, and Leaf Blade is one of the best grass moves in the game, in my opinion. Frenzy Plant, Leaf Storm being 2 of the other ones, but very low energy and high damage. All right, my opponent does come in with Registeel right here, so I am going to throw my superpower, and then I swap over to my Galarian Stunfisk to catch a Focus Blast, which is, I don't know, it's not like the greatest thing, but we do get to this Earthquake before they get to another Focus Blast, so I'm going to throw it. And the good news here is they had to dump all their energy to take me out. I'm out of shields, but so are they. My Lurantis does have some energy here, so after clearing my debuffs here, these superpowers are about to hit full force again. And as you can see, I'm going to throw a Leap Blade here, so not to debuff myself too much. A little less energy, and also should be okay. And then now they have a Swampert in the back. Swampert is not going to do super well against Walrein, and yeah, with the Lurantis as well. This is definitely going to do quite a bit of work. This almost looks like an Ultra League team, actually. It would be pretty solid in Ultra League as well. Opponent does go for a Sludge Wave. Is not enough to take out the Walrein, and these Powder Snow should finish it off. Alright, Shao Victreebel. We saw one of these earlier. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, we go straight for a Walrein here. Maybe it's not the best idea. Lurantis doesn't do terrible against it because I'm resisting the Razor Leaves, but yeah, so maybe I shouldn't have swapped out there. Might be a misplay. And now I come in with my Galarian Stunfisk, which I'm thinking right now, I don't really know why. Maybe I was expecting a Bastiodon in the back, I don't know. But we do get the Medicham out, and this is running Power Punch. Yeah, I don't know. I'm making some weird plays this game, not gonna lie. But either way, we are going to come in with the Lurantis here. I learned my lesson from last time. I'm actually going to use my shields. Unfortunately, it's a Power Punch, but that's okay. That Victreebel is going to take a while to get to a charge move. And yeah, and they come in with a Bastiodon. So I'm farming up a lot of energy as much as possible here. I'm going to throw and then swap over. I don't even know if I have Leaf Blade stored, but I'm going to tank this Flamethrower here and throw this Rock Slide. And then now do whatever I can against this Bastiodon. Unfortunately, they're going to take me out before I get that Earthquake, so I have to throw this Rock Slide, do a little chip damage. Do I have that Leaf Blade? Barely. I did not have the Leaf Blade, but was able to get to it just in time and finish off the Bastiodon. So a pretty good game if I do say so myself. Anyway, this team is a ton of fun, so if you're looking to use a Lurantis yourself, definitely recommend giving this team a try. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.